This is incredible, and the echo is just amazing. It's actually kind of creepy. It's like you're hearing ghosts or something. I don't know, it's weird. Hello, I'm here at Satsop Business Park. Now you may be wondering, what the hell am I doing at a business park? Well, this is not your typical business park. Just imagine in the 80s, the state of Washington was in the process of building a nuclear power plant. And at some point they ran out of funds and they just stopped in the middle of production or building. What do? Well, for years, this nuclear power plant sat dormant. In fact, can't even say it was dormant because it never went into production or into service because they ran out of money. They never finished it. So someone came up with a bright idea to turn this into a business park. Go figure, who would have thought? But even though it was a business park, they found themselves with a challenge. They found a lot of people curious about these nuclear towers and people trying to explore them. So they put these no trespassing signs up, and they were citing and arresting people who hopped the fence to tour these towers. And that's when somebody got another brilliant idea, and they're like, instead of turning these people away, why don't we offer tours and let them see the actual nuclear power plant site? And hence, the Satsop Nuclear Walking Tour was born. So I came here maybe 6 or 7 months ago. This is before I knew of the tour. And I was about that close to hopping the fence. Fortunately for me, in today's day and age, you don't have to do much research. You just get on the Google machine and you start typing. And I discovered that they offer tours here. I don't need to trespass at all. So that's what I'm going to do today. Check out the Satsop Nuclear Power Plant.
Prior to my tour, I arrived early just to take a look around the facility. I figured that there would be quite a few people on the tour, so I wanted to beat the crowd. This whole experience was reminiscent of the first time I came to visit this nuclear site. I found it calling my name. The desire to hop the fence and explore was just irking me. Peeking through the fence, I felt like someone who was about to give in to a guilty pleasure. The first time I came to this place, I was on the verge of giving in. Fortunately for me, I came to my senses. My employer tends to frown on criminal records, so I weighed whether or not hopping the fence was worth the price of my job. What would you have done? Let me know in the comments section below. Before I knew it, it was time to start the tour. I headed to the office where I met Nate, our tour guide. The tour was very loosely organized. Basically, they let you look around some interesting areas. Should you have a question, you can ask, and they will do their darndest to answer, although it may not be a complete answer. I say that because the guys that conduct the tours know just a little bit more than me about nuclear reactors. Okay, I'm sure they know a lot more than me. My point is, they aren't nuclear physicists. Moving on to tower number 3, we first passed this monstrous chunk of metal. It was used to bore the holes that connected the cooling towers to the nuclear reactor. Up close, it really dwarfs you in size when you compare your height to the height of the bore and cooling tower. Going in for a closer look at tower number 3, I couldn't help but notice that there was water in the tower. Now, it's perfectly normal for a cooling tower to have water at a nuclear plant. However, the odd part was that the nuclear plant never went into service, so why was there water here now? The answer was that one of the tenants in the business park required the water, although I don't know what for. Had the cooling tower actually been in service, I'm told that the water would be raining down from the top of the tower rather than still water, like in a pool. It was a fascinating sight to see. Moving on from tower number 3, we headed towards where the nuclear reactor was supposed to be. These structures have thick layers of concrete. Concrete is a good way to keep all that radiation trapped inside. It was daunting as I approached the reactor. This would have definitely been an amazing place to visit. However, there was a film crew on site the day I came and access was restricted. They were flying a drone in and out of the facility. If you listen closely, you should be able to hear the whine of the drone. Unfortunately, this is as close as I was allowed to get before moving on to tower number 5. Tower 5 would be the highlight of the tour, and I will get to why it was the highlight in a minute. Like tower 3, number 5 looked exactly the same, with one major difference. The inside of the tower is hollowed out, which made for some really interesting acoustics. It was so tempting to fly my drone inside the tower and out its top, but I was told by local security not to fly my UAV over or into the structure. In a hurry to beat the crowd, I made sure I was first into the structure. I wanted to get some good footage unhindered by people, and boy, I'm glad I did. The whole thing was just a surreal experience. The place took on an air of not being of this planet. It definitely felt like a close encounter of something alien-like. I made the most of the few short minutes I got to enjoy being alone in the structure. By now, people started to arrive and the place took on a different atmosphere. The echoes in the chamber were definitely creepy.
So I am in the cooling tower here at Satsop Nuclear Power Plant, and I didn't anticipate how kind of creepy it is here. Everything echoes, you know, and there's a little kid here, he's making noise, and I'm telling you, it feels like it's straight out of a horror movie. I'm sure you can hear it. Anyway, the guy on the tour, he gave me a tip. I brought my drone, and the guy said they don't really encourage flying drones here. But I spoke to the manager, and he said, he told me, we were talking about flying drones here. There's actually a film crew flying a drone around here. And I was saying how I wanted to do that. And he suggested that I come during the summertime when the sun's up, late at night, about 9 o'clock. There's usually nobody here, and you can fly your drone into this water cooler, this cooling tower, and straight up out of it, you know. So I'm totally gonna come back and do that. Plus, another incentive is you can arrange for a private tour. I wanted to go on top of the cooling tower here, but they don't do that on this tour. It's really not that expensive, but you do have to get insurance. Sounds like it's gonna be roughly about $100 to do that tour. So definitely a good excuse to come back here. But check this out. This is cool.